irrational numbers. Okay, we'll be looking at surds. Surds are basically irrational numbers. Please let us know where you're watching from. We are looking at surds. Surds in math. Okay, basically surds can be seen. Welcome. This is Maths with a subnovel. I'm actually live from Nigeria. Nigeria. Yes, let's know your location. I'm in Nigeria, Abuja to be precise. Let's know where you're watching from. Let us know down in the comments. Okay. So our goal today, I've done a lot of works on surds. Okay. So our goal today is to learn how to simplify sorts, that's reducing it to its basic form, and also to rationalize sorts. Okay. If you are new in this channel, do well to subscribe, do well to share, do well to invite your friends to connect. So what to simplify sorts, let's say we have root 12. This sort is not in its basic form. So what do you do to simplify this? You should first of all know your perfect squares. Okay? The perfect squares. Okay? To simplify sort, you should first of all know your perfect squares. Knowing your perfect squares will help you to simplify the sorts without having any issue. Okay? So the perfect squares are 1, 4, 9, 16, 16, 25, 36, uh, 36, and actually so on. So to simplify sort, and their square roots are square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. 25 is 5. 36 is 6. Okay? And so on. So what do we do when we are told to simplify sort like this? Like here in our example on the board, we have root what? Root what? 12. We are expected to simplify the sword. Okay? To simplify the sword, it is very, very easy. Okay? To simplify the sword, it is very, very easy. All you have to do when you are told to simplify a sword is, first of all, you look at the number inside the square root. Okay? You are going to think what are the two numbers that multiplies to get exactly the number in the square root, but the condition here is that one must be a perfect square, the other will not be a perfect square. Okay, so if you look at the list of our perfect squares, we have 1, we have 4. You see that when you multiply 4, which is a perfect square, to 3, you are getting exactly what? 12. So you can rewrite this particular root 12 to be the square root of 4 times 3. Okay? 4 times 3. You know that 4 times 3 is 12. Then again, to simplify it, all you have to do here is to understand one thing in multiplying sort, that you can split them and multiply them in different square roots. Okay? You know that when you take the square root of 4, you are having 2, as we stated here. So you can now see it to be 2 root 3. So when you have root 12, reducing root 12 to its basic form is what? Is what? Is what? 3 2 root 3. Let's know where you're watching from. I'm actually teaching from Nigeria. Let's know where. Okay, you're right. Gray, you're right. The answer is 2 root 3. Excellent. Okay, so let's look at the next one. The next one we should, I just cleaned this. The next one we should look at is root 20. Let's know who is following. Let's know who can solve this before I start. If you can solve it, drop the answer in the comments. Okay, so the next one is root 20. What do we do? Let me write this. 1 is 1, 4 is 2, 2, 9 is 3. Okay, let's know in the comments if you can get the answer. Okay, to do this, this is very, very simple. I'm going to think of two numbers. That's the two factors of 20 that multiplies to get exactly 20. But the condition there is that one of the numbers must be the highest perfect square that can be gotten. Okay, so if you see that 4 times 5. 4 times 5 actually gives what? 20, right? So 4 is now the perfect square and 5 is not the perfect square. So if you understand this, you can now split it into two different square roots. That's root 4 times root 5. Okay? Here, what do you have as root 4? Root 4 basically is what? 2. Okay? So square root of 4 is what? 2. So you write it as 2 root 5 because root 5 cannot be broken down. If you got this to be 2 root 5, let's know. Let's know. If you got this to be 2 root 5, let's know. If you got it to be 2 root 5, let's know. Okay? This is the easiest way to solve surd problems. Okay? So we got it to be 2 root 5. That's just the answer. So let's look at the next one. Let's say we have square root of 45. Square root of 45. Square root of 45. Make sure you have your perfect square with you. With your perfect square, it will guide you properly. Okay? Also, if you are just logging in, let us know where you're watching from. I'm actually teaching from Nigeria, Abuja. Yeah, let's know in the comments where you're watching from. So if you think you can solve faster than I do, first make attempt, try root 45. Let's know down in the comments what you got. Remember, our goal is to reduce the surd to its basic form. So it's simple. What do you have to do now? I told you to reduce surd to its basic form is very, very simple. You are going to think of two numbers that when they multiply themselves together, they get the number in the square root. But the condition there is that one of them must be the highest perfect squares and the other must not be a perfect what? Square. Okay? So here is the list of the first 6 perfect squares we have. So if you look at 45, 4 can't even divide 45, so we won't choose it. If you look at 9, 9 can divide 45 to get 5. So 9 is a perfect square. So when you multiply 9 and 5, you are going to get what? 45, right? So 9 is a perfect square, 5 is not. So you can now rewrite the square root of 45 to be 9 times 5. Okay? Then all you have to do is to split them. Square root of 9 times the square root of what? 5. Good. When you take the square root of 9, you have 3. Okay? So the answer becomes 3. Root 5 cannot be broken. We have it as 3 root 5. 3 root 5, sorry. And that's the answer. Okay? If you got the answer right, let's know in the comment section. Please do well to give us a like the live, please. Like the live class, please. Okay, that's the simple way to do it. Okay, it's very simple and very, very easy to do. So the answer is 3 root 5. Good, let's move on. Let's look at square root of 72. Okay, square root of 72. So in square root of 72, we are going to but the rule there is that one of them will be a perfect square, the other will not be a perfect square. Okay? So if you look at 72, what are the two numbers that multiplies? Okay? What are the two numbers that multiplies to get 72? Let's know that in the comments. But one of them is a perfect square. What are the two numbers that multiplies to get 72? Let's know in the comments. But one of them will be a perfect square. Okay? Let's know in the comments. What are the two numbers that when you multiply them, thank you, Michael. What are the two numbers? Please do well to like the live. What are the two numbers that once you multiply them, you get 72, but one of them will be a perfect square. Okay? 72. Let me know in the comments who is following. What are the two numbers that once you multiply them, you are going to get 72? Okay, but one of them must be a perfect square. Who is following? What are the two numbers that once you multiply them, you get 72, but one of them will be a perfect square? So if you look at the thing there, you can see that once you multiply 36 by 2, you are going to get 72. But the thing there is that 32 is a perfect square and 2 is not a perfect square. So what do you have to do here? You have to break it down that 36 multiplied by square root of 2. Then after that, you have to take the square root of the given perfect square. So the square root of the given perfect square, 36, is what? Is 6. Then the answer is 6 root 2. Very simple. So this is how to rationalize, how to simplify surds to their basic form. Let's know where you're watching from. Do well to like the live. So I want you guys to try this. Drop the answer in the comments. I want you to simplify root 8. Simplify root 8. Simplify root 8. Let's know your answer in the comments. Please simplify root 8. Let's know your answer in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Simplify root 8. Let's know where you're watching from. Simplify root 8. Simplify root 8. Simplify root 8. Let's know where you're watching from. Simplify root 8. Okay, drop the answer in the comments. Simplify root 8. Okay, so to simplify root 8 is very easy. All you have to do when you are trying to simplify a number like root 8 is very, very easy. You are going to think of two numbers that once you multiply them, you get the number in the square root, which is 8, but one of them must be a perfect square. But the thing there is that when you multiply 4 to what? 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So if I have 4 times 2, I'm having 8. 4 is now the perfect square. 2 is not the perfect square. So what do I have to get? I have it to be the square root of 4 times the square root of what? 2. Okay? If I take the square root of 4, square root of 4 is 2. So the answer is basically 2 root 2. And that's the answer. Do you get the answer in the comment? Do you get the answer? Let's know down in the comments. And if you don't, I want you to get your books and take your correction. Okay? So that's the correct answer. So the next one we'll be looking at is, let's look at square root of 18. Good. Can you do square root of 18? Do square root of 18. Let's know the answer in the comments. Can you simplify root 18? Let's know the answer in the comments. Do well to like the live, share the live. Okay, simplify root 18. Let's know the answer in the comments. Simplify root 18. Let's know the answer in the comments. Simplify root 18. Let's know the answer in the comments. To simplify root 18, it is very, very simple. All you need to do in simplifying numbers like root 18 is to think of two numbers that once you multiply them, you are going to get 18. But one of them will be a perfect square, the other will not be a perfect square. So what do you do in that situation? It's very simple. If you look at the list of the few perfect squares we have here, we have 9. When you multiply 9 to 2, you get 18. 9 is the perfect square, 2 is not the perfect square. So what do? You do 9 times 2, okay? When you have 9 times 2, it is 18. So 9 times 2, you split the square root, which is root 9 times root 2, okay? Square root of 9 is 3, as we have here. So if you have that, the answer is now 3 root 2. Are you able to get 3 root 2? Let's know in the comments. Were you able to get the answer to be 3 root 2? Were you able to get the answer to be 3 root 2? Were you able to get the answer to be 3 root 2? That's very simple. It's very easy to do. Okay? So simplifying surds is very, very easy. You just understand how square root works and the perfect squares. It's very easy. Okay? So let's say you are told to simplify the square root of 32, for instance. Okay? Simplifying this square root of 32 means you reduce it. Based on what you've seen here, I want you to try simplify with 32 for me. Let's know your answer in the comments before I take it off. Simplify with 32 for me. Let's know the answer in the comments. Okay? Simplify root 32 for me. Simplify root 32 for me. Simplify root 32 for me. Let's know the answer in the comments. Please simplify root 32 for me. Let's know the answer in the comments. Simplify root 32 for me. Simplify. Okay. To simplify root 32, yeah, we have to think of two numbers that multiplies to get the number in the square root 32, but one of them must be a perfect square. The other will not be a perfect square, okay? So the numbers are what? The numbers are 16 and 2, okay? 16 times 2 is what? 32, but 16 is not, 16 is the perfect square, while 2 is not the perfect square, okay? So if you have this, you can now see you have it as, you have to break the square root. So if you break the square root, you have it as 16 times root 2, okay? Square root of 16, square root of 16 is 4. You have it as 4 root 2, and that's just the answer. So 4 root 2, 4 root 2, 4 root 2 is the simple answer. Were you able to get 4 root 2 in your answer? Were you able to get 4 root 2 as your answer? So 4 root 2 is the simple answer. So if you got it right, you let us know. If you got it right, you let us know. So that's how to simplify sorts. Let's look at the next one. Let's look at rationalization of sorts. How do we rationalize sorts? To rationalize sorts is very, very simple. All you need to do, let's say you are trying to rationalize 3 over root 5, for instance. To rationalize sorts like this, our goal is just to make the denominator a rational number. Okay? So to make the denominator a rational number, all we need to do is to multiply the denominator by exactly the same irrational part. So if you multiply it to the denominator, root 5, then to maintain, if you leave it like this, you're actually cheating. So to maintain equivalency, you also have to multiply it to the numerator. Okay? You multiply it to the numerator, root 5. Okay? So if you multiply it to the numerator, what do you have? It's very, very simple now. Then you multiply the numerators together. So you have it as 3 times root 5 over, you know that when you have something like b times b, for instance, b times b, for instance, is the same thing as b squared, right? So root 5 times root 5, we can take it as root 5 squared. Okay? If you have it like this, the square root and the square cancels each other. You'll be left with 3 times root 5 is 3 root 5 over 5. And that's the what? Answer. Okay, so I have actually rationalized the particular sort. If you got the answer right, let us know in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know where you're watching from. Okay, so this is very, very easy. To rationalize sort is very, very easy. Do well to like the live, share the live, invite your friends to join. So let's look at the next one. Let's say we are told to do 6 over root 6 over root 8. Let me use root 8. We'll still do some simplification. 6 over root 8. If you think you can solve this, be solving it, drop the answer in the comments. So to rationalize this sort, as I said earlier, is that our goal here is to make the denominator a rational number. So how do we make denominators like this a rational number? It's very, very simple. We multiply the denominator by the what? by the same irrational part. If you do that, you also have to multiply the numerator by the same irrational part to maintain equivalency. Okay, after the multiplication, you can now see root 6 root 8 will times 6 root 8, and root 8 will times root 8. So if 6 root 8 multiplies, you have it as 6 times root 8, then divided by root 8 all squared. Okay? If you have this like this, it is very simple. So that 6 root 8, 6 times root 8 will give you 6 root 8 over, then this will now cancel out this, you have it as over 8. But basically, root 8 is not in its simplest form. So what we have to do now is to simplify root 8. Okay? So to simplify root 8, you have it as 6 into, we think of the two numbers is usually 4 times 2 over 8. Okay? So what do? Square root of 4 is 2. So the answer is now 6 times 2 root 2 over 8. So I can divide by 2 and get 4. Divide by 2, I have 1. Divide by 2, I have 2. I have 3. Divide by 2, I have 2. So I have 3 times root 2 is 3 root 2. Okay? Then I have 2 at the denominator, 2. So the answer is 3 root 2 over 2. Okay? Were you able to get it right? Were you able to get it right? Were you able to get it right? Let us know where you're watching. Were you able to get it right? Were you able to get it right? Okay, and that's the answer. It's very simple. So guys, I want you to simplify 4 over root 3 for me. Simplify 4 over root 3 for me. Simplify 4 over root 3 for me. Let's know it down in the comments. Simplify 4 over root 3 for me. Simplify 4 over root 3 for me. Let's know it down in the comments. Simplify 4 over root 3 for me. Simplify 4 over root 3 for me. Let's know the answer in the comments. Simplify 4 over root 3. To simplify 4 over root 3 is very, very simple. What do? You multiply the denominator by the same irrational part, which is root 3. Okay? If you multiply it by root 3, you also have to multiply the numerator by the same irrational part, which is root 3. So what do you get? You see that 4 times this will give you 4 root 3. And then in the denominator, when you multiply, you have a perfect square, which is 3 squared. Okay? So what do you have here? The square will cancel out the square root. You have it as 4 root 3 over 3. And that's the simple answer. It's very, very simple to do. Okay? Very, very simple to do. And that's the answer. Okay, let's look at the next one, please. Let's say we are told to rationalize something like 5 over root 6. Can you do that? Guys, I want you to rationalize 5 over root 6. Rationalize 5 over root 6. Let's know the answer in the comments. Rationalize 5 over root 6. Let's know the answer in the comments. Rationalize 5 over root 6. Let's know the answer in the comments. Rationalize. Who is Bike DK? Jacob DK. Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? I want you to rationalize. DK, I want you to rationalize 5 over root 6. Let's know the answer in the comments. Rationalize it for me fast. Okay. To rationalize this sum, it is very simple. I have to multiply the denominator by the irrational part with 6, and also multiply it to the numerator with 6. The reason for the multiplication is just to make the denominator a perfect square. The reason why we multiplied it to both numerator and denominator is to maintain equivalency. So after that, what do you see? You have it as 5 times this, you have it as 5 root 6. Then root 6 times root 6 is now 2 numbers multiplying itself. As I told you, A times A is now, B times B is now b squared. So root 6 times root 6 can now be seen as root 6 all squared. Okay? Square root and square cancels out. We will be left with 6. So the answer is 5 root 6 over 6. And that's the answer. Okay? 5 root 6 over 6 is the answer. Were you able to get it right? Were you able to get it right? Were you able to get it right? You said, what's the name? Comma agents. You said you helped me during my summer months. Thank you so much. Keep the good work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, agent. Thank you. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Please support me by sharing the video. It will definitely help me. Okay, DK, okay, no problem. I understand. No problem at all. We are friends here. I want you to share the live, please. Sharing the live will help the video to get to more people that need it. Okay, please. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this is very simple. So we've actually rationalized this sort. Okay, let's look at another simple examples. Before, in rationalizing sort, there's a stage that will need the conjugate sorts. Okay, let's say we are told to rationalize something like 7 over root 3. Can you do that? Okay, DK, I want you to do that. Can you do that, guys? Do it. Let's know the answer in the comments. Let's know the answer in the comments. Let's know the answer in the comments. Rationalize 7 over root 3. Thank you so much, Abdul. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Please support me by sharing the live so that I can get to more people. And I want you guys to try this 7 over root 3. Let's know the answer in the comments. 7 over root 3 is very simple. For you to rationalize 7 over root 3, remember, rationalizing sort simply means removing this irrational part, which is root 3. So to do that, I have to multiply the same irrational number, root 3, to the what? Denominator. But I can't just multiply it to the denominator. I also want to multiply it to the numerator so that I can maintain equivalency. So we can now see that I have to multiply this to the numerator again, so that if I multiply it, I am free to multiply the numerators together. So I have it as 7 root 3 because 7 times root 3 is 7 root 3. Then root 3 and root 3 are now the same. Whenever we multiply two times, like a times a, we know that b times b, we know that is what? B squared, right? So in that case, you have to get square root of b, square root of 3, all squared. Okay? And having this can now cancel out this. If it cancels out, you have it as 7 root 3 over 3. And that's the what? Answer. As easy as A, B, C. Okay? As easy as A, B, C. Very, very easy to do. Very, very simple to do. Okay? Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm actually teaching in Nigeria. Let us know where you're watching from. So that becomes the answer. Okay? So this is very simple. So let's look at the next one. We have 2 over root 7, for instance. Can you try this? Try this. Let's know the answer in the comments. Can you be able to do 2 over root 7? 2 over root 7. Can you be able to do 2 over root 7? What's the answer? 2 over root 7. Where are you watching from? Please do like the live video. Where are you watching from? Please do like the live video. 2 over root 7. 2 over root 7. Oh, Abdul from United States. Okay, that's very good. Thank you. It's nice having you here. Okay, I'm actually teaching from West Africa, Nigeria. Okay, do well to like the video. Okay, do well to like it. Do well to like. Please also share the live so that more people can get to more people. And also let me know the topics you're finding difficult. Okay, so that's it. So if I have 2 over root 7 now, what do? We have it as 2 over root 7. We have to multiply the denominator with the same irrational part, which is root 7, that we are trying to rationalize. So if you multiply this with root 7, you also have to multiply the numerator with also root 7. Okay? So if you do that, what do you have? You can now see 2 times root 7 is 2 root 7 divided by root 7 times root 7 is, you have root 7 all squared. Okay? So that this can now cancel out this. What do you have left? You have it as 2 root 7 over 7. And that's the required answer. Okay? Were you able to get it right? Were you able to get 2 root 7 over 7? Were you able to get 2 root 7 over 7? Were you able to get 2 root 7 over 7? Okay, this is very, very simple. This is very, very simple. This is 2 root 7 over 7. Okay, very, very simple. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Very simple. Okay, so let's look at this one again. Let's look at 6 over root 11. Okay, can you try 6 over root 11? Can you try 6 over root 11? Can you try 6 over root 11? This will be the last question we are going to solve for today. 6 over root 11. 6 over root 11. For you to do 6 over root 11 is simple. You have it as 6. You just have to do what? Multiply the surd by the same irrational part, which is 11. You also have to multiply the numerator by 11 to maintain equivalency. So after the multiplication, you multiply the numerators together and multiply the denominators together. So if you do so, you have it as 6 times root 11 is 6 root 11 divided by root 11 times will now be root 11 squared. Okay? So that this square root will cancel out this. What do you have? 6 root 11 over 11. And that's the answer. Okay? That's the last question that I'll treat today. Okay? That's the last. Thank you so much for joining me live today. On this juncture, I have to end it so I can go and rest. Goodbye. See you some other time. Tell me bye in the comments. Tell me bye in the comments. I'm going. Tell me bye in the comments. Tell me bye in the comments.